Spencer Rattler has been one of the biggest names in college football this year and last year. Even picked to be the preseason Heisman favorite, the #1 pick in the NFL draft. All this, he got one of the most biggest NIL money and deals. Every time he's posting on Instagram, it's at a car dealership or at a Canes or something, man. But comes down to football, he got benched in the biggest game of the year versus against Texas, and didn't even want to celebrate with the team. So I think he's out of there, and that's college football nowadays. The biggest backup quarterbacks always transfer. And that's just how college football is. You want to play, you want to get to the next stage. Here's some destination I think Spencer Rattler should look at, and I think he will look at. Start off with UCLA. Chip Kelly loves his running quarterbacks. He won a Heisman with Marcus Mariota. You saw how he was in the NFL. Dorian Thompson-Robinson going to the NFL, as he should. But Spencer Rattler can step in next year and be that man. Chip Kelly's going to be looking for the transfer to get some more experience, take his UCLA team to that next step, because they've been lacking those. So if they have Spencer Rattler, it's going to be a huge step in the right direction. Next, I think Arizona State. Right in Spencer Rattler's backyard, literally. He's from Phoenix. He can play in front of his friends, his family. And Jaden Daniels is going to leave for the NFL. And he gets to be coached by a former NFL coach. So he's Herm Edwards. He's going to know what it takes to get to the NFL. He's going to know he has to change his leadership perspective. I think Arizona State's going to be, one of his biggest bets to land next year. Now, this next one, I'm not really too sold on. But I think you always have to look at it. Arizona. And I say that because that's where it's from. But they are one of the worst offenses in the whole NFL. In the whole college football. They already started 3 different quarterbacks. They've not scored 20 points in a game yet, and they ranked 129th in the country in scoring. And that's not what you want to see as a program, as an offense. Spencer Rattler could come in there and not compete with anybody and win that job. But I think Arizona, they're going to be living in the transfer portal this year. Might bring in some other quarterbacks. So I think Arizona is a safe option. Next one is Cincinnati. Desmond Ridder is going to be a Heisman finalist. There's not really a runaway Heisman. I think Desmond Ridder's been playing like one, no doubt about it. He's leaving next year. He's going to be, a first day or day 2 NFL pick for sure. And Spencer Rattler could come in there and be the next one. But the thing is, Evan Pratt. He was ranked as the number 4 quarterback and number 45 player overall in 24/7's final 2020 class rankings. So he's going to have to compete with him. He's going to be Evan Pratt's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the country. So Spencer Rattler's got to compete with him. But I still see that as an option just because how good Spencer Rattler is. Next one, Kentucky. Kentucky is one of the best teams in the country. They can finish the year 10-2, 11-2. You saw how Will Levis did this year. Transferred in and is balling, man. Absolutely balling. And that could be Spencer Rattler. Now, Will Levis is probably going to go to the league next year. Spencer Rattler can take over this uprising, this keep going up and up Kentucky team, not looking like a basketball school anymore. Spencer Rattler can just take over that role. Now, the next one, I think this is the biggest one. I think this is the most likely landing spot. Tennessee Volunteers. And Spencer Rattler liked him coming out of high school. They could be his destination again. Starting quarterback Hendon Hooker is a redshirt senior. And then they had Michigan transfer Joe Milton. So they need a quarterback next year. And that could be exactly where Spencer Rattler comes in. They were aggressive in the transfer portal last year, getting Joe Milton. And I see them doing that this year again. You saw them in the Ole Miss game. They're a quarterback away from winning. They have a great roster. They just need a quarterback. And I think Spencer Rattler can do that for them. Next one, I'm not really sold on, but the U. Miami, man. But if Manny Diaz isn't there, you kind of got to throw it out the way. Now, they do have Jake Garcia, who's been in there, and he's been doing, a decent job. A lot of people have been saying he's the future. He stepped in for De'Aaron King. But Spencer Rattler needs a home. And I see the Pac-12 being the best bet for him. But I can also see these SEC schools. Now, I did leave some schools out there like LSU. A lot of people have been saying LSU. I don't really know how realistic that is. I did see Penn State as well. That could happen. That could always happen. Georgia's always landing transfer quarterbacks, but who knows with his eligibility, JT Daniels, Stephon Bennett, who knows? But Spencer Rattler needs a home. If he wants to get to that next level, he's got to. And that's why I see Arizona State, UCLA, and Tennessee being those top 3 places for him to land. I've also seen some reports that he wants to go to the NFL draft. And I don't know how that makes sense. Where is he? What team is he going to pick? What team wants a quarterback that got benched by a freshman? And look at the quarterbacks before him. Baker Mayfield, Browns. Kyler Murray, Cardinals. Jalen Hurts, Eagles. 3 quarterbacks. First pick, second round. All started. And he couldn't do that? That's red flags. He's not a good leader. He didn't even celebrate the team when they won. They won the biggest game of the year. Everyone's posting the picture with the hat on, and he's just in the locker. He's talking to his parents already. Shows who he is. Spencer Rattler, I can see him leaving. Everyone see him leaving. I see some reports of him staying. That's like the Jalen Hurts thing. But Jalen Hurts already proven he broke SEC records, won a championship. Spencer Rattler got blown out in the playoff. Got blown out by LSU, and LSU is one of the greatest teams of all time. But it still happened. He's not Jalen Hurts. Simply not Jalen Hurts. But he has to leave to be the next level. And these are the destinations I see him landing.